Hi everyone, today we're going to be looking at 1.05 and what went live for CyberPunk. PC will shortly follow. My name is Mac here at the MacGyver7 channel, and we have a ton of news to conquer. If you are also looking for a refund on this game, PlayStation as well as CD Projekt Red has been issuing some stuff up until the 21st, and I'll have a video linked at the very end, but let's go ahead and jump into this fun information. Now the update's going to be roughly about 17 gigs, and the list starts with Jackie no longer disappeared in the pickup or the heist. They fixed an issue preventing players from landing inside of the helicopter in Love Like Fire, and fixed the issues where the Take Mira not calling in the Play It Safe. It's no longer possible to trigger the same dialogue twice in the Big Japan. Fixed the issue where the Delamain appearing upside down in the end of the Don't Lose Your Mind, which is a very prevalent fix inside of these patch notes as we scroll down. Saul now correctly reaches in the van riders on the storm. Fix the traveling before the encounter with the Tiger's Claws no longer. Breaks the progression and fought like the law. We also look at the situation which is fixed with blocking progressions in the ghost town if an autosave is made upon the Rafton Shiv arrives was not loaded. On top of the fix where the issues was not receiving the new calls or messages if Happy Together failed as a result of combat. Elizabeth also comes down to the fixes and stops the portion of instance when she is called after her job has been refused. The scene is Misty and Jackie now starting properly after leaving Victor's clinic. Also, the Wakeo dialogue no longer gets blocked after finishing the search and destroy. Walking away from the Stefan in the Sweet Dreams shouldn't prevent other player characters from calling anymore. The bricks detonator should now be properly inside of that interaction for players where this was disarmed or set off your call. Very interesting. Now as we scroll down and see a little bit more, the elevator door should now correctly respond in the heist. Saul correctly gets out of the car and riders in the storm, and I think that might be more of a misprint. I think that might be dual. It seemed. But on top of that situation, what they fixed is they received new calls for messages after running too far after the Frank in the warp pig. Jackie now correctly leaves the factory after combat is finished in the pickup. And you can see at this point the Militech reinforcements not spawning if driving through the gate too fast and forward to the death. Skipping time while in the club and violence no longer results in issues with progression. Fix issues with the starting gig getting warmer. On top of the fixed issues which were receiving new calls or messages after the pyramid song has been abandoned midway. For as far as where the Delta main core could be already broken when the players enter the core room and Don't Lose Your Mind again, you see the Delamain not appearing or doing nothing outside of the afterlife and the heist. On top of that, an issue where the object getting stuck on Talk to Victor and the Rip Doctor. We get a little bit closer towards that very end as we see they fix an issue whereby it's impossible to talk to the bouncers in the front of Lizzie's in the information. We have the description for Don't Lose Your Mind in the journal, and the issues preventing players from saving, using fast travel, and talking to other NPCs after reloading a save, with an active call with Franks in the Warpig. Fix an issue for as far as Panama not calling about any other matter until I'll Fly Away is completed, and fix an issue with Dum Dum following V after the pickup is finished. Well, while looking at gameplay, it should be a little bit more funner to digest. We'll see on top of some situations that the improved reaction timing on NPCs for taking cover and the correct number of shots needed to kill a civilian from a distance while in combat. Visuals as we scroll down will be a little bit more of a longer list, but we'll see the fixed issues for the Delamain's image display on top of the very current calling in the phone. V's mouth does not stay open after entering the space lock in where in the mind. Fixed UI overlaps issues. V appears more modest in the situation of inventory previously, as you can see where the preview after a half year's montage. Wow, they had a montage? I missed the montage? Damn it. As the NPCs are faster to appear in the quests after the area during the Stadium Love, we see that the added some warmer points of HDR. The fixed T-pose NPC and the suspected on the organic portions of crime and activity just say no to the gig and the portions of the merchandise. But we also have some more stuff on the bottom before entertaining the UI fixes, as we can see what the issues where we had the brain dance and when it's possible to be struck in a third person view with no head. The silence icons are no longer displayed with no images in the inventory, and then the UI comes into gameplay as we see fixed an issue where the weapon crosshairs persisting on the screen. The inventory menu now no longer closes immediately after opening it for the first time after leaving a car, and fixed an issue whereby upon accessing a fast travel terminal, the button shown on the top right corner prompting to open the quest journal would not work. Performance and stability for as far as the multiple stability improvements and including crashes, which is just pretty much vague. And then we have miscellany, which is off screen, the portions of making noise now. Nice. Miscellaneous. All right, PC specific. Once this PC is launched, and we got some AMD stuff right off the top. For as far as AMD and the SMT for the optimization and the default course and the thread utilization in 4, 6, and the variants of 8, 12, and 16 in the processors remain unchanged, and the behavior as intended. This is the change that was implemented for as far as the cooperative with AMD best on their portion of, like, I guess, grand portion of balancing. AMD has that based on the tests, both sliding inside of that introduction for performance. Seems like a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo, but basically what they're just trying to say without making it hella confusing is 6 cores or less. Yay. So everyone getting like cars up above, it's not really going to get a nice little run through. Apparently. I don't know. I have a feeling that will change. I wouldn't put a lot of thought into that. That just seems like a really big hot mess, and I cover a lot of AMD patch notes, and that doesn't seem right. No offense, that just seems really weird. But for right now, it seems to be optimized with that portion of what occurs for as far as the improvements. Now, as far as the fixed issues where the raw input in the collection, we have the portions for as far as remove the use of the AVX instructions for as far as that set, thus fixing the crashes during the occurrence. At the very end of the prologue in the process, not supporting the AVX. The debug in the console to prevent the functions that could lead to crashes or bug quests. This does not mean we do not want to support that modeling community. Stay tuned for that. The ray tracing and the reflections comes into a situation for as far as that should no longer seem to be bricky in comparison to the environments, which has been one of the bigger issues with a lot of games where the reflections, it is very bricky looking. It's like very pixelated. It looks cool, you can tell it looks cool, but it just looks very off. Easy to notice by the eyes, like just pick up. For as far as where the fixed an issue with the Steam overlay crashed on the game shutdown, and on top of the removed memory pool bug on the .csv file, which was not connected with the final version of the game and had no influence on it. It was a leftover file during the deployment inside of the memory usage. So basically they're like, yeah, we forgot to remove that file, my bad. I'm not even going to read the rest of that because quite frankly I feel like that's just like the other one on top of it. You can read that if you like, but it's pretty much that they screwed up and they're fixing it. Now console specific, which is a lot more, I guess, to the point with a lot of people that are right now at this very moment trying to wonder what's going on. We see improvements inside of the sharpened and the chromatic portions of the film grain. The settings no longer reset in default for as far as several game session restarts, and the visual issues that occur during the transition between the heist and the love like fire. For as far as the corrected look on the several vehicles, Xbox entering combat for as far as the accelerator is no longer ended in players' health bars not being displayed. Also, the continued list on that is the game no longer becomes unresponsive while signing out of a profile when the controller is disconnected and the message is visible. As we scroll down and take a look at what's going to be at the very end, Telemeter takes charge for as far as the consent request will appear once more due to the earlier issues with setting resets. For as far as fix an issue whereby it would be possible to fall down the elevator shaft, the Mega Build H8 automatic love. So that's pretty much it for as far as that. You can join their Discord if you like. You don't really need to at that point in time. You can always subscribe to the network absolutely free. It helps me out as a creator. And if you do, who knows, maybe CyberPunk will actually pull this off and make a really good comeback story. I would like to see that, honestly. Just like with No Man's Sky, I saw that game was pretty much trash day one, really bad. But then, you know, somehow Sean Murray stopped crying and made the game great again. I remember those memes. That's the only reason why I poke fun at that, is there was a whole bunch of memes in the beginning where just Sean Murray crying, be like, Sony, they lied to me. And I was like, oh no, here we go again. But everyone, thank you for spending the time here. Happy holidays. Stay safe, stay classy, and I will see you guys and gals in the near future for more game related news in Cyberpunk. Now, if you definitely do want to take advantage of the refund, which you can since Sony pulled the digital content from the store, you now may have this available. I'll have a video that should be linked up right above. Go ahead and select that and that'll give you a little bit better. It should be a pretty much straightforward link, so just follow that and you'll be good.